Hi everybody, welcome. Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we are in the sewing room and we are going to be doing a sewing tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a hunting vest for your dog by recycling a hunting vest from a human. So if that is something that interests you, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you who this might be the very first video you're watching, I hope you enjoy the content. For those of you who have been here from the beginning, I appreciate you coming back each week and watching the videos that I put out. If you have not subscribed to my video, please consider doing so. It does benefit me by you subscribing to my channel. Also, I want to do a big shout out to all of the new subscribers that I have. My channel is growing a little at a time and I'm really happy. So okay, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you, this is the harness that I have for my dog. It is actually a backpack harness, and I did not realize when I got it that it actually, the pockets on the harness actually come off and they actually have Velcro there. So it got me thinking to be able to use this, because this is a really sturdy and comfortable harness backpack for the dog. It keeps him nice and dry, and it's just a nice thing, and you can actually snap it to the harness if you want to. But yeah, so there's a lot of nice little things going on with this. I was able to take the top part off that had pockets and everything, and then I just went to the store, to Walmart, and I bought one of their extra large vests that they have for men. And there's elastic on the sides of them, and then there's just a little piece of Velcro on the front halves that and I've already cut it apart, that hook it together. So there's Velcro on each side to hook these two together. And then, of course, your elastic. I left this elastic here. I cut it the length I want, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of each side of the front panels, because they're that big, and they're about the same width as I have here, and I'm going to put one each side of my vest, of my harness that I have, my backpack. And then that will make it, and then it'll go over top of here. It allows me to still have the handle here to be able to grab a hold of the dog if something, goes after the dog, or the dog sees something and wants to run. You're able to grab a hold of and get really good control of your dog. But I'm going to put elastic on all the way, a couple of spaces here, so that I can just drop that over. And I'm also going to take the Velcro, and of course you saw the little piece, and I'm going to put pieces of Velcro on this so that it'll Velcro down and stay. And it's just going to drop off, and it'll be removable, and I can put my backpack back onto it when I need to do the backpack. But this allows me to have a hunting vest, hunting coat for the dog. It's a good idea if you take your dog into the woods during hunting season. In the fall anyways, is a good idea to have some sort of a hunting orange vest coat that you can put on your dog, just so that it allows hunters to know that that is not a viable animal that they can shoot. If they think it's something that they could shoot, they might shoot. Hunters aren't always the best. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes you get people that just shoot when they see movement because they're so excited and they want to get a deer. You want to protect your animal as best you can by making sure, along with yourself, that you are covered in orange, hunting orange, so that you can make sure that nobody is going to mismark you as something that they can possibly shoot. So by making sure that you got your dog covered with a vest for orange is perfect to what you want. My husband, the reason I'm doing this is my husband's deciding he wants to take the dog to hunting camp when he goes, and we need to have a vest for her. So this is what kicked up this tutorial. So let's get into mocking this up, and I will show you what I'm gonna do. So I got the vest laid out on here exactly how I want it to lay out onto my fabric, onto my other harness. There's my scissors. And here is the front of the harness. I don't really want this to go past that. I want to be able to make it so that it's right around there. And it's a little bit long here. So I'm going to cut some of this angled off here just to make this so that it doesn't hang out so much. And then I can pin that, and it'll be below this mark here, just so that it's not out on the dog. And then I will just fold this over and pin it, keeping it where I need it to be on the harness so that I make sure that I'm exactly where I want to be. Okay, so that should work about where I need it to be. It definitely doesn't get into this part of the harness here, and it's up there. So I will mock out the other side along with that, get them all set up, and then I'll take them to the sewing machine and I will get those sewed. I'll show you how I'm going to sew that. So one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to roll this edge and get I'll pin it all and get a nice rolled edge here and get a finished edge so that I can deal with putting on all of my elastic and everything else like that. And I'll do that on both of these pieces. It probably won't fray. I probably would not have to do a rolled edge. I'm going to just a little rolled edge here just to make sure that we don't have anything fraying and pulling apart. It's going to, I mean, it's on a dog. They're not going to be gentle with it. Once they put it on, they're going to run, they're going to take off, and they're going to get caught into things. So the less we can keep them from fraying it, the better. So I'm just going to roll this over like this, and well, if I get all 3 layers, I'll pin it. And then we're just going to do the other end over here, and then we'll do the middle through. So I hope you could see that I was watching what I was doing and not actually watching the camera. Well, I guess I can't get it pinned all the way through. There we go. Okay, I have my sewing machine set up with my bright orange thread, and it's just on a regular stitch, and I'm going to stitch the top of this down. Making sure you catch everything. And as you can see, I do run over my needles. As long as they are going straight by the sewing machine needle or opposite of the sewing machine needle, that they're going this way, you can run over them 99% of the time and you don't have an issue. I was taught to run over needles, so that's usually, or pins, so that's usually what I do. It just allows me to keep my seam exactly where it needs to be, especially since this is nylon, and nylon's really hard to keep where it needs to be. It just moves all over the place. Okay, so that is one of them sewn. I'll get the other one done here real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the elastic and the Velcro. Put the pin in here just to hold this exactly where I want it to be. It's a little hard starting because it's really, really thick. It's like 6 layers of material right there at the top. This piece right here is really hard to stitch through. The machine doesn't want to do it very easy. Okay. There we go. Just, and if you hold it nice and taut, it'll allow you to keep your keep everything from gathering too much, because this is nylon. It puckers really easy. So if you keep it taut when you sew, it'll just keep it it'll just easier to keep everything together. Okay. Oh, we're caught on something. Machine does not like that last little bit. It's too thick for it. Okay, so that is all of those edges seamed shut, and I will take you over here and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do with the Velcro. Okay, so now we have our piece laid out onto our harness here that we have, and we just have to mark for where we're going to put our Velcro. Let me get my marker that's washable so that it'll come off. But I'm just going to tip up, and I'm just going to put a mark here where I want my Velcro. Now, if you were putting this on another vest that didn't have Velcro, you'd be putting 2 pieces of Velcro. I already have Velcro, so I just have to make sure that I put the other side of the Velcro on here. And I don't have to put as long a pieces as they have on here. I can. And I probably will, just so it'll hold it nice and tight. So I'll just measure these pieces, cut my piece that I need, and I just got some Velcro at Walmart. It was $1 for this, and I'll just cut out what I need. I only need the loop side, I think is what they consider it. It's the fuzzy side, because this has got the hooks. So I just need, if I can get it unwrapped, holy moly. Okay, so this is the side I need. It's the fuzzy side. So I'll just measure my strips. I'll actually put them right on there where I need to, and then I'll just cut the piece that I need. I ended up getting 2 things of Velcro because I wasn't sure if I was going to need more or less of what I had. But it was $1 a piece. But by putting it on there, it makes sure that it hooks, and I'll just cut the end of it off. And I got my 3 pieces of Velcro. The elastic that I'm going to use on the top of it, because this will go in like this, and I will hook the Velcro to those. But up here at the top, I'm going to put elastic. And each side of the vest had a huge piece of elastic. And then, I don't know where the little piece came from. Or maybe I already cut that, the width that I need. But I'm just going to put right here at the top. This one's already cut because that's where the elastic was. Or maybe that was the Velcro on the other side that holds it together. That was the Velcro. I'm just going to, since it was open and it's a perfect spot right behind the part of my harness, I'm just going to put this in here and stitch that closed, and then I'll have Velcro or elastic over top of my harness here. I'll put one at the front, put one here, and then I'll put one all the way in the back. So I'll put 3 pieces of elastic through. And this was just elastic that came in with the vest. So I'm reusing the elastic that came in with the vest. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I will pin the Velcro on, and then I will figure out where I want the other 2 pieces of elastic, and then I will get them placed, and I will show you how I'm going to stitch those in. So to rip this seam open, I'm just going to take this little seam ripper, and I'm just going to go in here real easy and undo a couple of those stitches. They're just wide enough to get the elastic in. I don't need it to be too wide. Just enough to get a piece of elastic in. And that fits. So then I'll just cut the piece of elastic the length that I need. Which I think I thought I had them all cut, but I don't. So I only need 3, so we'll cut. Okay. And then just pin that in there so that I can stitch that Okay, so then that's pinned in, and then I'll do the last one down here, and that'll allow me to have 3 pieces of elastic in a bit more. There we go. Sorry about my arm. Didn't think of that. By not taking not cutting too much, I just don't have a lot of extra sew right here. So I'm going to take this to the machine. I'm going to sew these 3 on here where I need them to be, and then I will flip it over and figure out exactly where I want my, actually I think I might, before I put my Velcro on, I might see how this lays, hooking it to the other side, and then see where my Velcro is. This might hang a little bit low, which is okay if it hangs a little bit low, but I don't want Velcro all the way to the end if I don't need it all the way to the end. So yeah, so let's take this over to the sewing machine. We'll sew that. Again, we just have a regular stitch in, and we're just going to sew over our Velcro here. And I'm going to back stitch that just so that I can make sure that it stays in there. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Giving it a little back stitch just because they're dogs, they're not humans. If they get stuck, they're not going to know to stop. They're just going to keep pulling to try to get themselves loose, and I don't want the harness to rip off. So I just double stitching over top of all of those. Okay, so now we can go back to the other piece and get that one ready for attaching it to the other side of this elastic, and then lay it over top of our harness that we already have pre-made and see where we're at. Okay, so I'm taking this and I'm just going to pin this harness, this elastic right up here at the top of the harness so it'll go over. I need it to be exactly where it is when I flip it over. It's a little bit thick there, but I just want this to go through here so that I can attach it to the other side. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over, add my other piece to this, and figure out where I need my pieces to be, and cut my holes. And put my Velcro in, or my elastic in. So there's one. This is from my next one. Oh, I already have elastic there. Okay, so I didn't need the elastic on that one. I forgot that there was a Velcro and elastic on this one. But that's okay. We just might stitch our elastic together there. Okay, and then that one right there. Okay, so we're just going to take this out. Okay, so now we have the elastic on the top of that. We'll unpin it from here, take it over to the sewing machine, and sew these 3 spots of elastic, and then put it back on here and make sure we know exactly where we want our Velcro to be. Okay, so now that is over top of there, and we can position it exactly where we want it to be and measure for our Velcro. And of course, it is going to be a little bit long for the Velcro that we have, but that's okay. We will put the Velcro down and we won't put it all the way to the bottom. Now, you could hem this up. I'm not going to take the time to hem that up to make it match exactly. A little bit hanging down isn't going to be a big deal. It's not going to cause an issue for the dog. It's not going to get in the way of anything. So again, just take your little waterproof marker, mark where this one is perfectly there, but we're going to go up here, we're going to mark the top of it, and this marker actually it's a disappearing marker ink, so as soon as it sits so long, the ink will disappear. It might actually be gone on the other side where I marked it already. And then mark where I want it to be. So I'll have to remove this piece of Velcro. Okay. So I have those marked. So I know exactly how long my piece of Velcro needs to, well, I know how long my piece of Velcro is, but I know where I'm going to put it and where it's going to stop on each one of my pieces. So I'm going to take this piece out here, stitch that, and then I will pin the Velcro on and show you what that's going to look like. Okay, I'll get that out of there, pin that so that we can get that stitch back together. Okay, so let me sew that, and then I will pin my Velcro on, and I will show you how I'm going to sew that together. Okay, so now that we have that pinned, we're just going to put our Velcro at the top of that and the bottom of that line, and then just pin it in. Remembering when you buy your Velcro that you do not buy sticky Velcro. Sewing machine is not going to like you if it's a sticky Velcro. It will gum up your needle and it will not want to work. So make sure when you do it that you do not get sticky Velcro, that you get sew-in Velcro. It's really thick. It's hard to get the pins through. As you can see, it's hard to get the pins through the Velcro and the material, keeping it to lay flat. This is one of those things, once you get it where you need it to be, you're going to do a lot of positioning when you go to sew. Trying to get it on one side. I'm trying to get it to go all the way through so that I can start like here, sew up here on one side, and then get my needle out to turn the corner and sew on the other side. So that's what I'm trying to do. Doesn't always work the way I want it to, but that's what I'm trying. Okay, so now that we have this side, we might as well figure out and get the other side marked exactly where we want the Velcro to be, and then go to the sewing machine and do it all at one time instead of doing separate things. So I will get the other side figured out and we will go from there. Okay, so we're going to stitch our Velcro, just a regular stitch pattern, regular line. Get almost to the end, rotate so that we can go around. Almost to the other side, rotate again, and come on back. Now we can take this pin out at the bottom, it's going to hold it, and I can do the rotation and do this very end all at the same time. And then rotate to do this here. And just back sits a little bit there. And you're just going to do that to all 5 more pieces of Velcro. And you'll be done. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so there is it sewn on and actually onto the harness. There is your hunting vest for a dog that goes over top of another harness that you already have, or this was actually called a backpack coat for the dog. So, yeah, just make sure you get the dog the right size, but this allows you to take it on and off whenever you need to. So there it is. I will actually get it on my dog and I'll take a picture of her in it so that you guys can see what it looks like on the dog. But that is it for today's video. Well guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. A quick little easy, cheap thing to do to be able to put a hunting vest on your dog so that you can make sure that they are safe out in the woods and in the area during hunting season and any other time of the year. It's a high visible orange vest that you can put on your dog, and that it is lightweight. to go on to the dog also. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.